Senator Obama was in London this morning, and he was responding to your comments from yesterday where you said that 16 months might be a pretty good timetable in Iraq. He said, "We're pleased to see that there's been some convergence around proposals we've been making for a year and a half."
That's really good. Look, it's not a timetable, as I said. I was asked, how does that sound? Anything sounds good to me.
But you never used the word before.
Point is,
you made a point of never using the word before.
Look, I've always said, and I said then, it's the conditions on the ground. If Senator Obama had had his way, we'd have been out last March, and we'd have been out in defeat and chaos, and probably had to come back again because of Iranian influence. It's conditions on the ground. The way that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said, the way that General Petraeus has said, conditions on the ground so that the Iraqi government can have control, can have the sufficient security so that we don't have to come back. Senator Obama said that if his date didn't work, we may have to come back. We're coming home in victory. We're coming home in victory. But it is not a date. I want to make it very clear to you. It is not a date. It's conditions on the ground.
So you shouldn't have used the word timetable.
Pardon me?
You shouldn't have used the word timetable.
I didn't use the word timetable, that I did. If I did,
it was a pretty good timetable.
Oh, well, look, anything is a good timetable that is dictated by conditions on the ground. Anything is good. But the timetable is dictated not by an artificial date, but by the conditions on the ground, the conditions of security. And by the way, our ambassador to Iraq basically said, we have succeeded. We have succeeded in this strategy. Now, look, Senator Obama doesn't understand. He doesn't understand what's at stake here. And he chose to take a political path that would have helped him get the nomination of his party. I took a path that I knew was unpopular, because I knew we had to win in Iraq, and we are winning in Iraq. And if we'd have done what Senator Obama wanted done, it would have been chaos, genocide, increased Iranian influence, perhaps al-Qaeda establishing a base again. Now we have a stable ally in the region, and it is not based on any date.
But it does
I like
seem
6
like
months, 3 months, 2 months. I like yesterday. I like yesterday, okay? That seems really good to me. But the fact is, the conditions on the ground
what's the difference
have not
between your
dictated
positions now? He says, okay, here's the timetable I want. That's the mission.
Yeah.
If the commanders come and tell me the conditions have changed dramatically, if Iraq's going to be unstable, I'll take that into account. You also say, timetable sounds great, but it's on the conditions on the ground.
Senator Obama said that he would come out no matter what. He said that he would be out, according to his original plan, it would have been last March. He says that the surge has not worked. He said it couldn't work. There's a fundamental difference between myself and Senator Obama. And now that it's a general election coming up, I can see why he and his people are trying to blur that distinction. When the decision had to be made, whether to adopt a strategy of the surge, he said it wouldn't work, it would increase sectarian violence. He said all those things that made it acceptable to the left of his party.
But there was also a fundamental difference about the original decision to go to war. He said it would inflame the Muslim world, it would become a recruitment tool for al-Qaeda. You said, and you wrote, that it would lessen antipathy in the Muslim world and that we'd be greeted as liberators. Wasn't Senator Obama right about that?
I don't believe so. We were greeted as liberators. We mishandled the war for nearly 4 years. We mishandled it in a way that was so harmful that I stood up against it. I said it wouldn't work. I said we had to have a new strategy, and I was criticized for being disloyal to Republicans.
You also said many times that the strategy was the right strategy.
I said that Saddam Hussein posed a threat to the United States of America and our security. And the oil for food scandal of $12 billion he was skimming, the fact that he has said that he had an operation, he wanted to have weapons of mass destruction, the fact that this society that he ruled in such a brutal fashion was really awful, and he did pose a long-term threat to the security of the United States of America. But that's a job for the historians. When the crucial time came as to whether we were going to leave Iraq and lose, or stay and do the very unpopular thing of 30,000 additional troops asking young Americans to make the sacrifice, He was wrong, I was right. That was the crucial point.
And you don't
in the
accept that
strategy.
he was right and you were wrong on the original decision?
Of course not. Of course not.
You've also taken some heat this week with your comments saying that Senator Obama would rather lose
Yes.
a war than win a political campaign.
Yeah.
I can't believe you believe that.
Well, I'm not questioning his patriotism. I'm questioning his actions. I'm questioning his total lack of understanding.
But that is questioning
it's a
his
total
patriotism. When you say someone would rather lose a war, a candidate, that's questioning his honor, his decency, his character.
All I'm saying is, and I will repeat, he does not understand. I'm not questioning his patriotism. I am saying that he made the decision, which was political, in order to help him get the nomination
so putting
of
lives
his
at
party.
risk for a political campaign, you believe he's doing that?
I believe that when he said that we had to leave Iraq, and we had to be out by last March, and we had to have a date certain, that was in contravention to, and still is, to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General David Petraeus, when he never asked to sit down for a briefing with General Petraeus, our commander on the ground, when he waited 900 days to go back again, where young American lives are on the line. I think that's a fundamental lack of understanding, and I think the American people will make the appropriate choices.
But you're questioning his motives.
I say that it was very clear that a decision had to be made, and I made it when it wasn't popular. He made a decision which was popular with his base, and that is a fundamental difference. And he does not understand, and did not understand, and still doesn't understand, that the surge was the vital strategy in us not having to lose a war. Chaos, genocide, increased influence of Iranians in the region. The consequences of failure would have been severe. Now the benefits are enormous of a stable ally in the region, of a country that is a friend of ours, a break on Iranian influence, certainly a break on Al-Qaeda and other jihadist organizations. So he made the decision that that was the best way to go to get the nomination of his party.